This is my comment on Scottish independence. The English are ruled by a group of despots calling themselves the Normans. They're actually strong, clever men, and some of them are just big, thick men with clubs and knives and things. But basically, they're in power, and Scotland would be better off without them. Scotland would be better off within the European Union, probably use the euro, which now will go, and there's more isolation of the English, of course. So much trouble in the last 1,000 years. They really have. You read the history, it's there, and they do all sorts of things, and so the Normans could acquire power, and they're terrible bullies, really. There's something wrong with them. I mean, Hitler used to say they had something wrong with what he called the sympathy arch, which was part of the brain, which feels the pain of other people. They wouldn't feel the pain of other people. They can't do it. They tear them to pieces and murder people, think nothing of it, and they're sick people. And well, I think most of it is learned naturally. The natural instinct is not to do that, but there's something wrong with them. And I noticed that in the northern son we had at work, who was my line manager, and I was seeing his eyes. He was a killer. And, but he killed all the students by smashing their brains, thrusting them into their sexual, and any staff that got stroppy, he bashed their brains. And a bit of a nasty bit of work. And he actually murdered a woman called Maya. Maya. She was quite an attractive young woman of 18, which most 18-year-olds are attractive anyway to men. And he destroyed her. He kind of brain her off. He died 8 years and after that, he didn't care. And she was tricked into having this wonderful, fresh, and made better person, but she killed her. He was dead. And she could be made to walk, trained to dance with her. Basically, she was a dead woman, brain dead woman, who was half the brain was missing. It's half from here to here, and half from here to here, which is where the mind is. And that's the leader of the story. That's what gets you doing things. And the reasoning says everything and stuff. And what they did to cut it off when she was 18 for instance, which is the top grade. She was at 18 point university and present which she had everything going for her. And she wanted to do nice things with engineering, which is actually quite pleasant. But she was anti-war, basically, and an ethical engineer. Or something, we need such people, all dear friends were over there. He murders her so he could have sex with her body. That's sick was. And I think they took her money as well. Pretty awful. And I think she died of hemorrhage, whatever. When the brain's down like that, the person dies. And they have these institutions where zombies, as men with their brains, half their brains missing, are trained to do something. Do something. And they dress up in these funny uniforms and things. It's really awful. Britain's an awful place. And, it's been going on since the Norman invasion in, was it 1966, wasn't it? 1060, I can't remember what it was. Well, we talk about 1066. Well, it was actually 1090 before Norman started taking control. And he died soon afterwards, but he left his children and his aides to do it. And well, we don't want people like that. We don't want him. We don't want to be ruled by a psychopathic killer, which is what the Normans are. And they intend to stay. They've been here 1,000 years, they intend to stay. And well, us millions can't do anything really. But America could turn its firepower on. Well, England wants to say Scotland separated and become an independent nation because the Scottish lairds are just Scottish, but they're differently Scottish. And the Americans could wipe us out quite easily. Well, the British are very strong, they've got all sorts of things that they don't talk about, and I don't know about. But they're well armed, and they're very dangerous. And, only a superpower like America could take them. Even Russia couldn't defeat them. I'm told even the Americans couldn't defeat them. People have been trying to take them down for the last 1,000 years. They're too clever for us. They're very clever, and they're quite ruthless. As I say, my house, I think the outdoors about it. This is a Viking house, and it's weak. It can be easily be broken into. The actual door is protected by a piece of wood, which is just shatters if they want to get in. So that's not secure. A steel plate can be put in, and with angle brackets, the angle bracket put down to reinforce it. But it's probably not a good idea to buy Dixon stackers, certain angles put there, which would increase the strength, and that would help. But it wouldn't make if they can still in there. The windows can be broken and you can get in. They wouldn't help because they can get in anywhere. So reinforcing the front door is a trivial way. The windows can be broken. They're not shatterproof. They break easily. So the house is undefendable. And the normal houses are undefendable. They have special equipment. Most normal houses are, because the normal castles are defendable and good defendable houses in the country. The doors, they thick the doors, strong. So it protects the family, and that's what I think like the rest of us, they protect the family. But our houses are made to be undefendable. So there's no point trying to keep them out. But they have laws about breaking and entering. They're trying to avoid breaking the law. So if you stand and break the door, then that's breaking and entering. It's different. So protection to some degree. But they have keys to the doors. So they have keys to all the doors, so they can get in any house. And they say they're right to. Well, and they have, if you put a bolt on the door, they can take the bolt, shoot the bolt, unshoot the bolt with a piece of wire that goes through an orifice somewhere. And there's always orifices in the door. And they can go in and slide it, open it. Well, there's some bolts you can actually jam in such a way they just more difficult to open. They can't be opened from the outside. It's helpful, which means if I die and break down the door and get in, well, that's right, I'll be dead, I don't care. But he was we did. The poisons they give me are designed to kill me, and that's what they're trying to do. They could do it more quickly, but they want to do it in such a way it looks natural. And of course, death is pretty soon anyway, because of the high blood pressure and so on, which they've reduced. That it was something they did to me to make me ill. So these people are really bullies and nasty people, and they call themselves, a lot of them call themselves Christians, but in fact it's just power crazy people who do it for money. The Christians do it for money, really, for money and power, and it's very unpleasant. Even the Pope is just after his money, his palaces, and of course, being apart from that, people try to kill the Pope, which is a futile act to get that one. Is when they treat it, they're protected. So it's always sometimes trying to kill the Pope. But in order to take the Pope down, you have to take the organisation down first. So 5 years down organisation, that's difficult. And so this organisation, priests, it's been put in place to stabilise society, and it's done something, but it's terrible, really. It was a lie. If people work for a lie, they work to. If you work for things you get in your lifetime, it's worth it. And people do work for their children as well, and their grandchildren. They do it now. So people do that, but in fact they're going to die. I mean, a lot of people work because they don't want to work, want to enjoy life. You want to enjoy. I want to enjoy life, but they took it away. They wouldn't let me enjoy life. Well, they don't enjoy life either. They think they are, but they're not. They have sex parties, and where they have drugs girls or brainwashed girls or hypnotized girls who go through scenarios So, risky scenarios or whatever, they end up having sex with all these people, men who are well men. And well, that's what these so-called knights do. They rape people, they murder people, and the aristocrats. The second son of the aristocrats is a church leader. So they go around hurting and raping and pillaging people. They're not nice people at all. And I once knew a priest, I call him a priest, which is uh, he was the second son of an aristocrat. And one time that aristocrat crowd was very powerful. And I mean, they struggled out, but they're still there. And they were still powerful, but they got money, and they have an inherited position. This bloke, he was the second son, his job was to tell lies to the population, he was under control. And there's one woman I remember, a young woman, who he must have cooked it out, and I was under his influence too. And he wanted me to help her, treat her for being a socialist. She thinks she's a socialist, but I'm not quite sure how I could have helped her. Basically, he took her clothes off and fondled her and he raped her. And that was his treatment for being a socialist, and she was pretty upset about it. I don't know what happened to her. He managed to kind of brain it out, get rid of her. But that's what priests do, and there's not much I can do about it. Eventually, we beheaded him because he was such a miserable son, and his head was put on put in the oven and cooked for the family to eat, and well, they were very happy. But that's what happens to criminals. Uh, Beheading is a normal punishment for a Christian who, they are horrible people. And the people that other people I've heard about, they dissect people alive to see how it works. That's all doctors do as well. I think they're doctors as well. They do have very good knowledge and they use it to hurt people. I mean, they want to cut off the nerves in my spinal cord so I can paralyse from the neck down. And they also damage brains to give you a paralysed hand. Now they want to give you a paralysed left hand, by damaging something up here. And I mean, I've got wonderful knowledge of where these motor sensors are, but they have a precise knowledge and they know where it is frozen in the skull, so you can plug a wire in and damage the brain so the person has a paralysed left hand. Now so they must have cut the end off, but what Christians do is it's better actually because the hand is still there, but you can't move it, and it looks natural, it looks straight. And they put wires in the brain. They were putting wires in the brain. That's it. The instructions how to do that are in the Bible, and it was known to the this goes back a long time, but it was known to the Latins, the Romans, and the Greeks, and so on. But they also used it. They used it mainly on slaves. Or they were captured from outside the Roman Empire. The Roman law said a Roman could not be employed as a slave. But it was Jewish laws like that. Jewish laws said a Jew can't never go a Jew as a slave. And you can't get a slave on a Jew into debt either. But that's Jewish law. But the Romans did have these laws against charging interest. And when they started to borrow, the society took off, which there was an advantage. But they think debt is a wonderful thing. You work up debts. Well, that means you can't buy anything. So you get this up and down of the society. People spend their money. Society moves around around factories. And then the money runs out. They're going into debt. They stop spending. The idea is to walk into anything else. We can stop there. We can stop. And you start paying debt off if you've got any income. You have to work. Well, that means the factories that were opened up to with these credit card loans or whatever, fail because they can't sell their goods because people are in debt. So you get this oscillation. And you can model it in like a physics equation. And I haven't got the right answer, but it's quite complicated. But that's basically what it is. And people don't like being told they're physical models. And you know, the third laws of thermodynamics about particles that run around all over the place and have control over them, but so it wouldn't know its work. It was a massive thing, most macroscopic capabilities. Whereas people are the same. Individual people run about whatever, that's not predictable, but as a mass exam. And so that's population science. And you can study it for other universities. But Mrs. Thatcher didn't like people studying sociology or the other university because it was made the workers educated workers. And some people think it's a good thing to educate workers. Well, the people in power do not. Mrs. Thatcher as well. Other more enlightened leaders realised that educated workers are actually quite useful. But the point is, the nominalists think, or they have this delusion belief, that the workers were made to serve them. Now, I was born into a normal household, so I know what it is. And I disagree with them, so they chucked me out when they work. I chose it. But I don't regret it because it was right. But it's not nice being poor. Now they're stealing all the money. The money I made as a worker. They got without any money. They're afraid. They may be afraid that because they think I'm actually Hitler, which I'm not. My mother was, but I'm not. They, according to my memory, I was born in 1923, which means I'm 91, which is pretty old, and probably die quite soon anyway. Well, I'm going to die sometime. My life, within the normal human lifetime, I won't live forever. But you realise that these wars we fought a waste of time because the situation is the same afterwards as before. And one thing you remember is if you kill people, that antagonises the others. And so the warness or wars never end. And we had this idea for forgiveness, but doesn't happen. I think originally Ingol, who wanted to kill me, but he was worried about the fact his mother was killed by a German bomb. And I don't remember what happened. Apparently I was a German soldier, but I think so I was. So he took it out on me when I appeared to be a child. It was a very nice thing to do. He could have injured me, and of course I could have probably died out. Well, I remember basically things happening which don't make sense, but he was a killer. I spotted him once, dressed in camouflage with darkened face, with a gun in his hand, going around killing people. That's around here. He still thinks the Second World War was on. For him, it never stopped. And after the Second World War was over and the Germans were defeated, the peace treaties signed, he went to Germany and killed people who still believed in the Nazi system. Well, I've been to Germany. I've been through Germany, and there are people, well, they say I'm a Holocaust victim, and in Serbia and Hungary, they're still Nazis, and I suppose Austrians and the Germans are still the same, because these cultures don't just disappear. He killed everybody he could, and brain damage people who couldn't kill. Yeah, I think Russians were taken, so the communists were taken down by a priest who went over to the persuading people to have a fund of Waterway. A wonderful thing, and that's how it's broken down. And so we have over here is Germany, Of course, it's around to have nasty things to do, so we're angry to gas them all, that's what it is to get angry with something happens. Three of friends killed me, and the people who saw the Nazis thought they were building civilization. Well, maybe wrong. Maybe the wrong thing to do, but it appeared to be a great civilization based on contact with aliens. Well, who don't like that? Because aliens are soon going to die. Well, you can't do anything about it. But the British civilization is based on being immortal. And if people are very angry when they find they're not, and I said that Christianity particularly was a lie made up to make money and to control the population. And I know that it is because priests have told me. They've told me that's what it was. And anybody who takes priestly instruction and goes to college will find that out. Forget about it. Forget about it. It's all rubbish. Well, people don't like that. They get angry. But they take it on me. They should turn against the priests to be lying. Priests should be. The priests don't have to lie. They know they're lying. They can change their mind. Because they're under the control of a bishop who will to cut their throat and make them commit suicide if they tell one. They can actually make people commit suicide. It's to my training, and so that's how they control them. That is, the priest tells the truth, they get bumped off. And they take a vow, which that's what it means for the vow silence. They tell what it was, which are supposed to tell them the rest. But some priests talk and they get bumped off. So it is the priests of the Catholic and the Christian priests who are causing the trouble. None of the priests in the world, Indian priests, the Muslims don't have priests, they have teachers. And the Jews have also rabbi teachers of the same thing. But you need somebody to pass on information and be a teacher. But we have quite a lot of teachers in this country. And they're all aristocrats. So the whole country is held down by aristocrats. It looks a normal democracy, isn't. People who they just choose somebody to go and build work for them. That's what they call it. Well, mind you, I suppose you can control the destiny of a child by teaching them, about things. You control a human being not by training them so much as by giving them data in their brains, which makes them do things. But nobody can't do that because people acquire knowledge by their experience and not, and so they become independent. But as a child, you can't do that because that restricts their data. But children who go around exploring and finding out things become much more successful than people who don't have that. They don't know how to get on. I was never allowed. I was protected, overprotected. They said they keep this information from me in case they have to use it on me, you see. So they must have realised there was a possibility. Well, I'm now getting old, probably going to die of natural causes, although the poisons they give me didn't trigger the aging process. They probably killed all the cells in my body. That's how I die. Well, that's what psychiatrists do. They kill people. And the science of killing people should be, well, the state does kill people, but psychiatrists are really nasty way of doing it. You don't have to give a team or hang you, you have psychiatry. It was a lethal injection. But I don't like people who are upset to reveal the truth. If a man thinks he's going to live forever, if he works, looks for the factory and so on. But all he's doing is feeding the boss of the factory himself, and the people who buy the goods get benefit from it. Well, you're lucky, but interesting. You see, it's biased. It's meant to support the pigs, and the factory goods are mostly things that people working can't afford. Why should I make this? I can't afford it. You can't have it yourself. Well, that's when I was working in school, I took an interest in the things I was making for the demonstration. But I used to want to see the demonstration. But eventually they said, well, you mustn't do that. You just work for money. You get an award, and we tell you, give you the award. You should work for that. Don't work for anything to do with the work. You're not allowed to see it. So, kind of I couldn't work. Because the reinforcement of seeing our machines work was more than the money. So I must have money as well. But you need to make my food and some shelter. So that's not a reward. I mean, for some people, that's not a reward. It is a reward and you need it, but it's not a reward in the same way. It doesn't make you do any more. Well, that's what I try to keep you as work for money. So it's difficult for me to learn to do that. I think I lack the kind of abstract thought that enables me to do that. It's very difficult. They say you should work, well, they train a dog, and they can do something, and they give it chocolate. that does seem to work for dogs. You know, it actually reinforces things. And horses. But children do respond a bit like that, but they stop, you know, they realise, you know, and they just start giving chocolate for doing things. Well, chocolate may be ill, maybe heart attack eventually, what they were doing to give the heart attack, you know. Now, that wasn't predicted, but it did. So I knew what I had to eat. And, I never eat something else which poisoned me. And psychiatrists have the same punishing reward idea. But human beings don't work like that. Now, our stems of the brain are more abstract and they don't work quite the same way. The system is always without food, of course, don't get it. Just having no food changes human behaviour. There's some savages, you know, without food, still things. And these people I met, Egypt, for example, was denied the access to money and support, so she had to steal. She had to survive. Nobody would help her until I stepped in and started to support her. And then she started to realize she was a worthwhile citizen. And I still support her because that was the contract I arranged with her. But it's very expensive now. I don't much rather cut them on way to stop me doing that. They want me to stop me supporting her. And she'll suffer and die. She won't benefit. I know what they call a woman like that cannot work. A woman's job in the house to have families. It's not meant to work. I don't know why they hate her. You know, probably because she's actually American and she fought against the communist regime. They don't know that. And I don't think he was ever a Christian. I don't think that's true. But you know, and communism didn't work, right? Well, the communist idea was set up to control the aristocrats, the nobles, the bullies. You know, we called actually bullies, and the pigs. The Americans call them pigs, which is probably a dictator of himself, a pig. And most of these business people are like that. You know, going into a bank during the day, you get people paying what they've made during the day as a business person. There's nothing wrong with being a business, but they won't let me do it, you know. I'm trying to sell this thing I've made, and they can go stop you about it. They want it, they want me to sell it. Because in America, you can do it. Because you're not a business, you're not making money, not much money, but you're supplying and selling things. And the British issue sales will do that, that's what they do. But I'm not allowed to. That's how we're being punished because we're now the Saxons, because that's the Romans invaded us and controlled us, and that's what they're lunatics. They can't give it up. Well, in fact, you can't be friendly with them because he thinks he's in charge. He's entitled to us as their slaves, and it's the old argument with the Saxons and the Normans. Well, I'm actually not a Saxon. I've told him I'm related to the Queen, about close as he is. He's still a Saxon. He won't accept it. Sure, this funny idea that I'm Hitler's son. Maybe I am. But I thought I'd do three. Now they hate me. I mean, I can't help my father. Basically, a fish can't help a fish. But you know, it's there is much punishment. I don't support his ideas. Because I don't believe gassing Jews, but because they're attacking me, that does encourage me to think gassing people is quite a good idea. Because it'll stop them attacking me when it gives you better fish. The Americans are afraid of ISIS or Islamic State. Well, the Americans, it's quite a lot of Muslims in America, I don't know where there are, but they would not want to join. And so they do killing Muslims and turning those as other Muslims, you see, and friends. And so that will not benefit the Americans at the start. It might defeat ISIS in Iraq, but then there's still there'll be people who are disgruntled by it, who are already in America, who could do nasty things to Americans. So it's a nasty situation. And as I say, in where I live, which is in London, Christians and Muslims are tearing each other apart because the Christians are bloody-minded sods who think they're God, or whatever it is. And the Muslims don't think they're God. They don't think they're in touch with God. And They just want to get on with their lives, they attack each other. It's awful. But you see, our Scottish independence will enable the Scots not to have this bully boys in power. There were Scottish bullies as well, of course, but the normal bully boys will lose their power base, and that will reduce the danger. And in fact, if it did become a separate country, I could emigrate there, get away from Britain. And of course, they speak English mostly. And at the moment they didn't like to start speaking Gaelic. One country. And Scottish is a dialect of Gaelic. And well, I wouldn't understand them. Still speaking in the Highlands, you know. So it's there. The Welsh speak a form of Gaelic as well, but that's the native tongue of Britain. It's the Normans who brought in French, and the Anglo-Saxons who brought in English. So, of course, all countries are made up of different races. But if Scotland separates, that will protect people from these ravages of the Normans. And I noticed that the banks that were controlled by Normans all coming south. Was that the Scots were their own banks, weren't they? The Royal Bank of Scotland, actually, their colours came clear. It's a British bank, not a Scottish bank at all. So they'll have their own money, and that will detach them from. They don't want the pound because the pound is controlled from Westminster and the Queen. It's got sovereign. It's got the sovereignty from the picture of the Queen, and that's important to the royal family because when you swing your money, you owe the taxes to the Queen because it's the Queen's currency. And they pay for using the currency. Well, if you're the Scottish, therefore must have their own currency. Now they do have, that's in the past they have had currencies in Britain, but a long time ago, the Romans, the Nero reached Hadrian's Wall, or beyond that it was something else, probably a krona from Norway. And so they could go to crowns would be a possibility. Czechoslovakia uses crowns, and Norway uses crowns. So I think they've got the euro. But the Scottish would then follow suit, they go to the euro. And the euro doesn't have the sovereign's head on it. So you wouldn't have to pay taxes to Westminster. That's very important. Taxes, and because we use the Queen's currency. So English. If we have services, it's all. But so the Hadrian's Wall, I noticed it's being rebuilt. Well, that's quite helpful because that's the border. It could be the border. I don't know the border is between Scotland and England, but it's probably around Hadrian's Wall, and that would keep the Sassenachs out, but also keep the Scots out. And the trains would have to stop at the border and go through a border crossing, and probably you get off one train and get on a Scottish train. If you had trains and cars the same, they'd have to go through a border crossing. Now in Europe, I think because Britain is actually a European part of Europe, by secede, the trains would then be European trains, and so there would be some unity. But so it would probably be Europeans, the border being Scotland being a European country, and England being a European country, the border would be open. Go through the rest of Europe. So it would be truly independent because we're all Europeans. But no English would accept that, they would accept the Europeans. And you talk to these people, and they don't realise they're actually Europeans, they don't like it. They still think they're in the 5th century BC, wherever it was. Yeah, so Scotland will be part of Europe, but it's also Britain, so we're still in the same country. I know why Britain doesn't have the euro. Well, there is a reason. It's because the people with the money want to control the money themselves. So I think it's mostly the royal family. The Queen does not want the euro, and that's the problem. We would have had it years ago. I had euros, I was saving up euros. I'm not allowed to hold them. No, even though I get a euro card, that's not allowed. Not allowed to have euros. you could buy them, but you go abroad, but you must hold them. So I had some euros saved up in the shop over there, and they stole it. It wasn't very much, but they sold it. I was saving up all kind of euros. And that's what psychopaths are. They've got this delusional beliefs about Britain being independent. I suppose the legal empire royalists are sort of the legal empire royalists. Well, they're dangerous people. They're in the past. And I don't know, there's no empire now, but there is the Commonwealth. I mean, when we decided to shed the empire, it was actually one of my decisions. Shed the empire, and they got rid of me and tried to rescind it with the Commonwealth. Well, people did sign up for it. It was a great scrimmage speeches, don't they? But Australia is really a nation country, and although the people are quite a lot of the British, but I thought the Chinese now. At one time they wouldn't allow Chinese or Japanese or blacks in the country, and now they've got quite a lot of them. So Australia is really in the Chinese orbit, and it has to be seen who's anything more British than Britain. But well, that's the truth of the history. And they know quite about the Falklands, it's quite a big island, and quite important now. It's now a naval base in the South Atlantic. It wasn't before the Argentinians started taking over. There was no base there. There wasn't a presence, but there wasn't a big base. And now the big base there. Britain's actually expanding its influence. And it's suspicious where the British warship goes somewhere, because they're actually tracking over. Well, of course, that's how empires are built. You see, the real European is also an empire, really. It's a cooperation between nations and people of nations. And they celebrated the Euro. The Euro was a unifying force. And the first time it would eventually be a European state. And quite probably be dead by then. It's taken a long time. It wasn't a long time ago. I mean, even Churchill was a European state. But we didn't like it. Because the power base of these peaks is in Britain. And if Britain was part of Europe, that power base would be reduced. And usually Scotland would make Britain weaker and therefore more likely to join Europe. So it would be beneficial for Scotland to be separate. It would be not just for the Scots, but the British as well. Because this stranglehold the Normans have would be loosened a little bit. And I think Wales should separate too, Because Wales, they're quite keen on the Welsh national spirit. It's a bit too small to be a separate country, but it probably would work. You do get small countries separate, but they have above Europe as well. So Britain would go hand in. Depending on Mercia in Yorkshire could be separated too, but it's not called Mercia, but it's Yorkshire. And that because they won't independent. They think of independence too. But England, you think of England as being a country, but England doesn't really include Scotland or Yorkshire. It's not really Yorkshire isn't really English. It's Sussex. Sorry, you see, the kingdoms of England are actually, if you read the history, they came from Wessex, which is Sussex and Wessex down there, and so that's where they came from. And so they still think like that. I mean, Winchester was the capital of England once. That's all history. I've done that period of history, a very interesting period. But of course, I went to the modern history and I get it right. I really about it seriously. But I didn't know the Renaissance. I didn't know what that was. But I would never done that period of history. Know about it. It's crystallised. I think children do that about these things. Well, but one of the things that I remember Queen of Scots was beheaded by Elizabeth I. I'm not quite sure why she did it, but I think she was. I don't know what the reason was. But I think Queen of Scots claimed the sky of England, so they chopped her off. So that's normal. And previously, when Scottish soldiers wanted to be independent, they were all burned, but they were executed by firing squad. So this change of heart by the Queen to say it's their affair is quite a big change. And well, So it doesn't make a difference that she's prepared to allow Scotland to leave. That's very important. Shows the Queen is not altogether evil. And perhaps in fact, if she's a person too, so he would be a best difference. And I've been told the royal family is getting ready to step down to allow democracy to develop. But the young bloods don't want it, you know. Want it because they want to be king. It's some of that should be cut off, not physically, but cut off at the branch, and cut free so that the royal family could be ordinary citizens. And really, they are. They say they're fed on raw jelly, stuff like that, but really they're ordinary people. They're skilled, and once they're skilled, they control people, and very nice. And so with separation of Scotland, it would prevent the English royal family from ruling there. I mean, they'd still be king of Scotland, but would be power base and be dislodged of it. I think the Queen would probably get away with it, for it is, but she could do it. She could still be a queen. Or some people like the Queen, so that's up to them. But I prefer a Scottish president, you know. There's no reason why I should have a queen. Our queen to be king. That's history. But the reason why it should continue, they have a president, and they elect him, and have a presidential election. And well, English parents would not be eligible, but it will make a difference to them. It'd be quite nice to go to Scotland and go through war control and a partial stand. Really like we go to Switzerland, you have to go through border control, but they've got their own currency. Well, Scotland is not much bigger than Switzerland, I think. So it's interesting. Swiss wouldn't join Europe, and I don't know what else I know is there are. And Europe is, it's one country, but it's not equal. And Scotland, I know where Scotland would prosper on, I can't tell that. They've got to have industry. They were once the hub of industry at one time. And really there's no reason why really they should have industry. I mean, Scotland's got coal and oil, so that would power the industry quite a long time. And I know we've got steel, iron, iron too, so we've got steel works and things. And of course, the intellectual property has got the X-rays factory and things. But being a part of Europe, they have that market. So also, people in Europe would go there. You know, so it's a place where Iranians could go. Avoid England, go swimming to Scotland. Weather's a bit different. Not that any colder, wetter. Quite a nice place. And the Scots are speak better English than English, you know, really. It's a lovely accent they've got. It's quite nice to a Scot. I like the accent, you know. But so I'm talking about. So Scotland should be free. And put up agents all, but fortified it, and Scottish soldiers patrolling it. Housesteads could be one of the passing points, a bit remote, but could be rebuilt, the fortress. And because of the English side for a problem. Moving to Scotland. Housesteads should be Scottish. I think the borders for the English side, and that's probably put down on the English side of the Scottish border, and then have something up the other side. Got you. There is much spirit. And we don't want to resurrect Rome, not really. Some people do. That's England. Scotland will be different. The Scottish have castles, you know, and the Scottish are there to control the land. And the people we can talk to them there is half the land. And he has these he wasn't in his land. Sounds Britain. Such good fingers. So the Scottish castle is about still there, and it's a very tribal country. The lads they won't have 40 each other. So hopefully that won't come back. So I mean, if you read this slowly, that these people set up and become powerful, and one we've got is people in power in churches, actually criminals who don't go to churches, and they rule the area. And I think Neville has got the idea that I should be a slave, and by selling this transducer, I'll be trading. You can't have that. I'll be running a business, can't have that not allowed. But if I was a foreigner, in fact I'm a foreigner, I'm a foreigner from Germany, not British, therefore I'll do that as I can. It's a funny thing, the Saxons aren't allowed to trade, but foreigners can. When the Muslims come in, they'll start trading. And no way of doing it. And they survive, they have a version of Islam the whole time. It's businesses. You buy something from a Muslim shop, the Muslim bloke down the road, he's poor, he works hard, and he's quite pleased to get the trade. But now, short of cash, I've got to pay him money for my phone. I bought it, which I could have bought it somewhere else, but I wouldn't have had money. I did have the money, but I wanted to give it to Edith. So on Monday, Edith have to go short a bit because I was paying for the phone. It's quite a lot of money actually, but I don't have much. And I'm hoping by Monday I would hopefully they'll increase my, because I'm told my state pension has gone back up to its original level, but it was for a while. They told me the reason I won't get up, so it's okay. I overpaid before while I was locked up. I was seeing mermaids and space aliens in the garden, so I put myself in hospital. But also was a man trying to attack me, but I got protection in hospital. But basically, he's still attacking me. He's still there. The plans are beast, nothing else. But in Kosovo, when he was up complaining about these murders, police came with a machine gun. Could happen here. But yeah, the police have found criminals attacking people, but they're criminals who work for a bishop. And then the Catholic murderers and the Protestant murderers. So that's a radius here. And of course, Scotland is a Catholic country actually, so if it separates, they'd be Catholics. I think there is a Presbyterian church. I don't remember. Well, these religions are all nasty. It's very confusing for me. I was brought up basically on our planet, and so I think differently. I have different experience, different knowledge. I don't fit anything with it. And when I die, I shall return to the stars. That's and this will become a distant memory, distant dream, a nasty dream. I was actually trying to make contact with the human race as an individual on one basis. It's impossible. It really is, because the children of brainless rain, of course, like a daughter of a child. I mean, Jesus said to children he would receive in heaven, but adults couldn't. You could only come as a child, but people can't. And it's because the child can learn and adapt, but adults can't. That's the reason. I mean, we have Jesus talks about the heavenly kingdom. Well, these days we're talking about the galactic civilization, from we know about the galaxy, whereas Jesus knew about it, but people there didn't. And talk about stars, so people in this country talk about stars light in the sky, the latest they are nice. Say it's nice, isn't it? If you think there's a civilization up there, people don't like it. Can't think why. It does open people up to greater civilization. That's what Hitler offered, They hated him for it. He was offering a gateway into a greater civilization of the stars, which well, they get it mixed up with kingdom language. It's actually a sort of a place where people go and live and die. It's not when they die, it's they live there. And they have their lives. It's a civilization. It's like it's a concrete. Different species of the civilization. You get a whiff of it in science fiction. And it's there. That's not doing Scottish independence, but you get the message. And the Catholics don't like it because the power base of the Catholics, the money spends on unbelievable Christianism. That's the reason. But it's true, it's money. And Protestants are the same. And the other religions, like the Baptists, they all do it for money. They have investors in petrol, so they don't want the machine that runs on dictatorial. And that's what money is. So we go to self-interest. And the interest of the Scottish people is outside the ununited kingdom, that is England. And England, the Scottish Wales separates from Cornwall, because Cornwall is a separate country, more aligned to Brittany than London, and that could separate. And you go out of Cornwall, they still think like that. So they could separate and start speaking the Cornish language, which is a bit like the French they're talking and speaking France. And the Welsh have that language are called Gaelic. And the Scottish also speak Gaelic. And Gaelic is the mother tongue of the British people. It's what was taught, it was spoken there before Romans and no one's happy. As far as I can say, no one can go up. But they haven't got one. Europe, they don't have one anywhere really. But there are powerful people who go around and control investors by trying damaging places. It's actually worked out by this normal psychopath. The normal psychopath, he actually worked out how to damage places and train people and pretend and all sorts of things. It's another man, but they used to say formula for 1,000 years. And the people, when they come into life, you don't know, of course. You think the priest is a good bloke who teaches you things. Then he gets fruity, and that's the right nice. And they say, allow your children to be educated by our church. Wonderful. They turn into rabid lunatics and go around killing people. Well, they accuse the Taliban and ISIS of training children. Well, British do it as well. I mean, everybody in Britain's been brainwashed for Queen and whatever. And that's why they do it. So you get them when they're young. And children are like that, they're adaptable. Now, if a child is brought up with knowledge like science, as a body of knowledge, engineering, they think differently. They don't have goblins and incubus in their minds, but to some people that's important. And leprechauns as well, they're important. They think they are, so that's how they are. But they don't exist, and they call it thing of mind, basically don't exist. Whereas science, or some of the scientific concepts, they metaphysics, they exist like that, but they actually use the construct to map the real world. And that's quite useful. And no reason why the construct could be true, it doesn't have to be. So it's a model. And it doesn't mean anything, but we work out these models, apparently. But anyway, apart from that, Scotland should be a separate country. And the president, we don't want the king involved. And as I say, the borders will be open throughout Europe, but there still is a different country. Okay? That's my thought, and going on for a long time. I really waffle too much, I'm an old man. I think my mother, was a poet, apparently, but I didn't know that. I found out now she went when I was in bed, so she went on the computer, and she wasn't really old at all, because until they damaged master brain, X-ray brain, she was a young woman with her body, but if you were able to use the computer, didn't do it for me. And when I was a long time ago, I was during the night when I switched over with different personality and had a computer, which is different from now. I was packing at that time, with a cat. And I pick it right out. And I had my wife with me, so I can't even remember. That was a long time ago. My wife started not with us when I was asleep. She died. Oh God, maybe she was killed. And I'm getting on now. But so you want a separate country and independence from the people in Ireland. People sort of jeer about European state when it's actually a democracy, which Britain isn't. It's a sham democracy, like a lot of things. They do laugh at the British being a sham democracy, but it's not just those countries. Britain is another sham democracy. But there's the Queen. She's a sister who she's getting involved now. She decides not to take part, and leave things alone. And the rest of the royal family, well, they're just embezzling the money. That's right. They do like rushing out the money, helicopters and fast cars. Well, we all do that way, but we like to actually, but most people can't because they're winning money. And that's what Britain is. The workers support the privileged few. It's true in all countries. In other countries, it's possible for a worker to earn money and become one of the privileged few by dint of his own power. But Britain isn't. That's the only contention now. Because I was starting to trade, and they've seen my efforts, he doesn't like it. But what he wants to do, I don't know. He might attack me on the machine I'm built. As far as I know, it's not been sold and nobody's had any interest in it. But in other countries, they can trade. Because I'm not trading second-hand goods, it's actually something I've made. It's down as used because that has to be the category. But what I've tried out, it's experimental. When I'm selling it, to pass it on to another enthusiast who could use it with the gym or whatever they want to do with it. And but that's not actually a lot of business. Just selling something I've made, and it's not going to support me, but it will help to recoup my costs. It will help me clear my credit card, for example. I don't have to pay it off. And he doesn't want that done. He wants me to be in debt, so I work, but nothing further. And I work for him. He wants me to work for him. But he thinks he's entitled to that. And he's violent, So these violent people exist in the South. I've met people in Ireland from Irish people who think the same. You get somebody like me, and on top of it, somebody's pumping you and bought it, and basically had him as a pet. And I feel like that. The Irish are quite cruel people. They do it to the animals as well. So you get everywhere. I mean, the civilization we have in this country is peaceful, but it's the price. And damaging the brain, killing people is the price we pay for peace. But the only benefit are the people in power. And that's what the price of the peace is. Totally shuts you anywhere else. And I don't know, I'm not allowed to trade because I'm not this class, but basically the lineage is that I am. And so I don't know who I am, honestly. Hitler, I think, was not wish to trade either, and he didn't like it. So people get downtrodden, try to get back their own, and that causes problems. So it's the nastiness of the people in power that jeer at me, jeer at me. So it's like this. Cut off England, isolate the pigs, but get Scottish pigs to kill.